So, hi, my name's Chris. I have Alyssa here today. I want to talk through the strategy that I helped her with her clients. And so, based on that, Alyssa, if you don't mind introducing yourself and tell us kind of what you do.
Yeah, my name is Alyssa. I run an email marketing agency. We help seven-figure e-commerce businesses. And I had a client who has about 100,000 email subscribers. And she was running into the problem of having kind of an unengaged list. And then she's also transitioning from being a live product to being an evergreen product. And so Chris helped collaborate on the strategy for that. And now we're kind of off and running with it.
Yeah, no, that's great. It was a really fun call when you reached out to me on LinkedIn, and to be able to talk strategy with another business owner was just it was exciting. I enjoy it. So before we talked or before we spoke, kind of where were you with the client? Because when we first talked, you're like, I'm not really sure what to do, but can you kind of walk me through what you're doing before we talked when it comes to the strategy?
Yeah, so when I first hopped in with her, some easy lifts I saw that we could do would be like a survey. We were lacking a little bit of first party data, but for all of the email subscribers we had, like 100,000 email subscribers we had, figuring out the best way to start engaging them, being that she didn't really have segmentation or automation. I was like, wow, there's so many options here. I don't know the quickest and easiest strategy to get us there. And so I think being able to talk through that of like, okay, I kind of have these ideas, but I feel like Chris probably has been in this exact experience before. Just being able to find like the smoothest path there. And when I left the call, I had like 5 ready to go quick steps that I could
Mhm.
take. That we were able to kind of talk like the big picture, but then it was really
Mhm.
like actionable steps of like, okay, I knew I wanted to do a survey. I already had that scheduled, but then it was like, here's exactly what you can do with those survey responses to
Mhm.
create more automations down the road. So just, yeah, like being able to take those really actionable steps after the call was such a load off of my mind instead of staying in like a little bit of analysis paralysis.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I find that's pretty common when somebody's like, "Hey, I don't know what to do. Can we talk strategy?" And it becomes more of a, "Hey, let's zoom out and look at the whole picture first, because we need to get context, right? Like, what is the business doing? What are you doing? Who are these subscribers? Why are they on the list? How'd they get there?" Until we have that context, there's not really a whole lot. You can make some educated guesses, but it's really tough to suggest things when you don't know the whole context. So yeah, it was really interesting and fun to talk through that with you. Was there anything specific while we were talking? Because once we got on the call, it was really just kind of laying out, looking at that big picture. Was there anything specifically that with the call that you're like, wow, that was like a light bulb moment? Like, where did that come from?
I think something you really encouraged me in was not being afraid to ask for too much first party data. I think
Yeah.
sometimes when you've been in it for a while, you get a little bit nervous. Like, first party data is gold, but also, people don't like to be pestered with questions.
Mhm.
And so feeling encouraged in that has really been, I mean, we're still, over the next 60 days, we'll be laying out the full strategy, but that has been the quickest gold mine right away and the easiest thing for us to kind of implement right away
Yeah.
that we already have so much to run with just based off of that. So I think both just like the encouragement of it of like, yes, go get first party data. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
And then getting just to process through like, here's all of the ways that we can use it was really exciting.
Yeah. How did that feel while we were talking through the process? Because I know we zoomed out, looked at the whole picture, but you kind of mentioned it. You're kind of nervous, kind of worried, not really sure what to do here. But what was that process of you going from kind of nervous to confident? Can you kind of talk me through what that process was like on the call?
I think part of it was that I knew going into this, like, we've got, I don't want to say a big problem, but it's a problem that I knew had a lot of steps we needed to take.
Hmm.
And so feeling confident in which of those steps needed to be prioritized first. Like, do we prioritize the people that are already here and have been here for over a year? Do we prioritize our new subscribers? Do we prioritize like the people coming in currently? I think feeling just like helping get priorities sorted is one of the best feelings you can have to go from, I don't want to call it like wobbly steps, but like,
Yeah.
that feeling of like, what exactly is first to just feeling so certain in it.
Yeah.
It's a huge relief.
Yeah, it was cool to see that happening in real time, because when we started talking, you were like, "Here's like the list of things we're doing." It's like, "Okay, cool. Let's zoom out." Like I mentioned, let's talk about the business, and then cool, let's reorganize these things and put them in priority. Like, what does the business actually need, not what is the next best practice that is suggested, right? Because
Yeah.
we can come across that online of like the best practice is to do X, Y, and Z, and it's like cool. that's for like generally an average businesses. Like in general, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
But depending on where your business is at and what it's doing and what you need to get to the next step, that could change. And so I saw that when I was speaking with you, is like that light bulb came on of like, let's prioritize, but we're prioritizing based on what the business needed. So
Yeah.
that was super cool to see.
I would say something that I felt you did so well that I really appreciated was you not only heard like the business needs, but you heard the needs about that I was expressing of my client. Like this is what
Yeah.
she's explicitly going through. This is what she really says she needs. She feels to feel good in her business. Here's what's going on
Mhm.
in the rest of her business. Like you heard the big picture so well, and were able
Yeah.
to take that into account when making your recommendations.
Yeah, yeah. How'd that conversation go after we got off the call? Because we did talk about, and we did talk through what the client actually wanted and needed. So it wasn't just the business. Like it was, what does this human want and need from their business, and how do we get them there, right? Like the goal is X, right? But if the client's saying they want Y, is there a conflict or is there an alignment, right? So how'd that call go with the client when you took the strategy to her and said, "Hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking." How'd that go?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that happened for us, I was able to kind of re-mirror to her what you and I had discussed, and then also being like, this is the map that it's leading us on.
Mhm.
And she was able to, I think, hear that in a little bit of a new light of like, okay, I'm taking XYZ steps. This is
Mhm.
where it's going to lead me. Wait, hold on. I don't know if that is exactly what I want. And so she
Yeah.
actually was able to go from that conversation and realign some of her other business strategies to better align with the true vision she had for her business.
Yeah. So it sounded like you were consulting her business, not just email.
Yeah. I mean, email is business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you think that your client saw you in a higher perceived value because you're able to talk business instead of just email?
Oh yeah, I think anytime you're
Yeah,
able to be considerate and aware of the larger picture and show
yeah.
that you understand email is part of this full functioning organism, um,
Mm,
it just builds a lot of trust.
yeah, it really is. It really is. Cool. So yeah, talk me through kind of where the strategy is at now, because I know you guys said you're currently implementing,
Yeah.
clients on board. Talk me through how that's going.
Yeah, it's going really well. So we have been able to not only set up a really successful strategy that we've started to implement already, um, but because we're so clear on what we need to do, we've been able to delegate that, which has been able to help us increase the time that we're able to get to our goals.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That's exciting. How's the client feeling about it now that they have a clear path forward and a clear map?
Yeah, I think it went from feeling, or I think she went from feeling kind of stuck and frustrated. She had
Mhm,
done all of this work to get this huge list, to now she feels encouraged and excited that
mhm,
not only is her work not going to be wasted, but the new people that are going to come on, they've got an exact space they need to go that
mhm.
we've got a good map for them to go.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
I didn't
totally get.
reword that, but I think you know what I meant.
No, I totally get what you mean. Like, I think for you and I both are business owners and leaders, it's momentum, right?
Yeah,
If you get
exactly.
unstuck and then you start moving, you get movement and then you have momentum, and that's when it's really exciting because now it's just putting the right pieces in place. It's not pulling them out and saying, "Cool, I gotta lug this over here and put it on the path." It's already there. You just got to move it around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. A couple more questions for you. How long was that call that we had? Because I know like a big high level strategy, some people think it can take months to come up with that, but it didn't take that long for us. How long was our call and what was that like?
Yeah, I think our call was less than an hour.
Yeah.
And then implementation, I mean, we had a clear strategy after that call. I had one
Mhm.
conversation with my client, and now it's going to take us less than 60 days to roll it out.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. It's so exciting to feel stuck and then go, nope, 60 days, we're on track. Let's move this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, awesome. And then I guess last question, if there are people looking for strategy help, whether it be business or email, what would you tell people about our conversation, about the process we went through, if they were kind of unsure about maybe calling or booking a call? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I'd say I understand your hesitation. I
Yeah.
think that there's a lot of bad actors out there. Something I could speak to directly about my conversation with Chris is that you need to have someone who understands all elements of the business. Chris is a business owner himself, and he's worked um, with dozens of other business owners as well. He understands the ins and outs and how email connects to every other element of marketing. And so if you're looking to connect with someone, you feel stuck, you know that you want to talk to somebody who knows more than you do, or even you think you have an idea of what you need to do. Like I'm another email marketing agency. You think you know what you need to do, but you need to get clear and get sorted about it. Stop wasting time. Talk to somebody who understands business. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. I appreciate that. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
Well, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Leslie. I appreciate the call. And then, yeah, I guess if there's anything else, just let me know.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Thank you.